Hey folks, Jackdaw here with a very thrilling Dragon Age Dreadwolf news update. Just this weekend on Dragon Age Day 2022, BioWare dropped an official cinematic straight from Dreadwolf that we need to talk about right now. I'm also going over Dragon Age, the missing issue 2, the upcoming Dragon Age comic that features Varric and Lace Harding, and additionally, the Dragon Age Netflix show Dragon Age Absolution is out in like a matter of days. We've got a few non-spoilery things to talk about regarding that brand new show. And also, I'm going to talk a little bit about my expectations for the Game Awards 2022. Regardless, what a time right now it is to be a Dragon Age fan. Let's swoop into these updates just like the Dreadwolf's chaotic desire to destroy the Veil and wreak havoc on all of Thedas. So of course, talking about that cutscene, on Dragon Age Day, BioWare released a brand new blog supporting the unofficial official event, as this year the charity raised money for the Trans Empowerment Project, a wonderful non-profit organisation supporting the most marginalised people in the queer community. Now towards the bottom of this blog, BioWare detailed a small section on Dragon Age Dreadwolf as follows. Friends, we wanted to thank you for your years of amazing support of the past and future of Dragon Age. We've had a particularly fun and fascinating year working on Dreadwolf, reaching the production phase in February, announcing the Dreadwolf name in June, and hitting alpha in October, along with showcasing some of our amazing team members throughout the year. We wanted to close out this year with a little treat to celebrate Dragon Age Day in our own way by sharing a key cinematic from the game. Enjoy. Now, I will touch on that close out this year thing in a bit, but for now, let's just jump straight into this official cinematic. So according to YouTube, this work in progress cinematic from Dragon Age Dreadwolf tells the story of Solas, narrated by the dwarf Varric Tefris. Let's break this all down. So throughout this cutscene, Varric regales the ancient tale of Fen'Harel the Dreadwolf, explaining that long ago Solas, the elven god of lies, or a heroic rebel against tyranny, depending on which story you choose to believe, in his final fight with the elven gods, Solas imprisoned them and created the Veil that split the world from the raw magic of the Fade, but now he wants to tear down the Veil and destroy the world. And we're the only ones who can stop him, according to Varric. So first of all, context. What the heck is the context of this cutscene? Well, of course, we don't know, but you all know who is going to try and attempt to figure that all out. So throughout this, Varric is describing Solas to our new hero. However, given that Varric seems familiar with our new hero, as he said, we are the only ones who can stop him, that we denoting that Varric kind of already knows our hero, at least enough to associate with them, meaning that Varric is acquainted with our new hero at the point of this cinematic. So that means that potentially this scene isn't an opening sequence of Dreadwolf, but perhaps sometime after, maybe even the cutscenes that immediately play after the prologue. Additionally, perhaps Dreadwolf is actually going to return to this artistic cinematic approach like in Dragon Age 2, where Varric narrated over key points with artistic cutscenes as he described Hawke's journey to Cassandra. I always thought that it was a really good way to break up the pace, describe what was going on in the narrative, and also add little bits of humour in there between Cassandra and Varric. Now, Varric in particular is of course one of our favourite dwarves in the Dragon Age franchise, and we have known for a while that he is returning in Dreadwolf. At least that's what the Game Awards 2020 trailer indicated towards. So given his importance as he is explaining the villain of the game to our brand new hero, it's safe to assume that Varric is going to be one of the first characters our new hero will meet, acting as what seems to be an advisor on Solas this time around. Perhaps Varric is the one who initiates our hero into this brand new quest. Now hopefully BioWare don't rip out our hearts and have Solas kill Varric within the first act as a massive tie to this narrative, because I just can't deal with that. But yes, so far there are quite a few connections and influences of Dragon Age 2 that are already established for Dragon Age Dreadwolf. Now the cutscene itself revolves around Solas' story and his transition as the fabled Dreadwolf, the elven god of rebellion who tricked and banished the rest of his fellow elven gods and created a veil to separate the raw magic of the Fade from the world. And now he seeks to destroy the world, wreaking havoc on Thedas in the process. That's pretty much what this entire thing entails. All in all, this cutscene is quite similar to the Dreadwolf Rises mural and the 2020 Game Awards fresco, hitting on a lot of those similar notions with with coming after the Elven Gods, Varric returning, and the Dreadwolf's inevitable scheme to destroy the Veil by whatever means. However, there are a few highlights I have noticed that differentiate this cutscene and add a few more things to the scene. First of all, when Varric talks about Solas fighting the Elven Gods, in this cutscene we see this very familiar tambourine that of course was featured in the Dreadwolf Rises trailer. This time, however, the semicircles on the side of this tambourine are lit up, and they have very iconic ancient elven iconography, the very symbols of the 7 remaining Elven Gods that we have seen on a plethora of Eluvians in the Trespasser DLC, once more illustrating that they belong to the Elven Gods. Now, for those who don't know, there are 9 Elven Gods in total. However, Mafal and Solas are currently still walking around Thedas. Not too sure what the deal is with Mafal these days. However, she wasn't banished and imprisoned like the other 7, which are Elganan, Falandin, Durthman, Andrul, Silas, June, and Gillinan. According to Solas, once the Veil is destroyed, the Elven Gods can return to the world, but it would seem he has a plan to deal with them accordingly. Now, another highlight I noticed when Varric is describing the Elven Gods and Solas as he created the Veil, the Golden City in the middle of this turns black once Solas created the Veil, foreshadowing the fate of the Maker's Golden City and its blackening. We've also got a moon above the Black City, perhaps echoing a very old ancient prophecy, that being 2 shadowed spheres, an eclipse as Sven Harel stirred. So tying a few of these loose dots, what does this mean? Well, it confirms our original suspicions about these semicircles that we had in the Dreadwolf Rises trailer, that they are indeed the 7 banished Elven Gods, and that when Solas created the Veil, he also turned the Golden City black. In addition to that, we also speculated back in the day that these 7 circles could also belong to the 7 Old Gods, and that could still very well be the case, because of course, very original theory here, but the 7 Old Gods could also in fact be the 7 Elven Gods, or perhaps the Old Gods could be an aspect of the Elven Gods. Check out my 6 theories that must come true in Dragon Age Dreadwolf for more info on that theory. But yeah, it definitely is connecting into it was the elves all along kind of scenario, even more kind of it was all Solas's fault kind of situation. Now, in the next shots, we see Solas raising a weapon as he plots to destroy the Veil, as we see it almost shattering, oozing with magic. But what exactly is this weapon that Solas is holding? Could it be the Red Lyrium Idol? Or perhaps, even more so, could it be the dagger from the Red Lyrium Idol that was revealed in Dragon Age Tevinter Nights? Now, in the Dreadwolf Take You, a short story from Tevinter Nights, a Tevinter mage accidentally summoned the Dreadwolf's attention when he was performing a ritual with the Red Lyrium Idol. As he raised the idol up in his ritual, a peculiar blade sprang from the idol, that being a ritual blade. Could this very peculiar ritual blade from the Red Lyrium Idol be the very same blade that Solas is holding in this cinematic? We know that Solas has been looking for the Red Lyrium Idol for some time. As he stated in the Dreadwolf Take You, the Red Lyrium Idol belongs to him. So is this what Solas is going to use to destroy the Veil? Is that why he's been after the idol all this time? Is it all to do with this ritual blade? If so, are we already screwed, or is there more to Solas's ritual than using this blade? Because if he's already got it, can't he just stab the Veil right now and Thedas just explode in the roaring chaos? Perhaps there's more that still needs to be done. And then the cinematic reaches its end on the notion that with Varric and whoever else who's going to be involved, our new hero is going to attempt to stop Solas. Honestly, really loved seeing this cinematic. It's at least something to get excited about, even if a lot of this information is stuff that we already know. We've been able to confirm a few of the nitty-gritty details here, and I'm ever more grateful for that. But of course, as it's this time of year, you know, the Game Awards is literally upon us, and I'm sure that for a lot of you who are watching this, the Game Awards may have already came and went. But circling back to that Dragon Age blog, BioWare said we wanted to close out this year with this cinematic. So does that mean that we are going to see Dragon Age at the Game Awards? Well, unless BioWare want to completely surprise us and just throw a trailer out there completely out of the blue, it's looking quite unlikely. If BioWare don't want to show something off right now in 2022 at the Game Awards, maybe Dreadwolf has still got quite a bit longer in the oven. I'd say, I guess, maybe spring 2024 could be its release date. Unless BioWare are just holding off until the new year where they want to go full full on ham with their own marketing. You know, they don't necessarily need the Game Awards. However, as I made an entirely different video on it, BioWare and the Game Awards have always had a really good relationship, and it really is the best possible place for them to talk about Dragon Age Dreadwolf. So I don't understand why they would wait until the new year to do their own marketing when they could do it now, but who knows what goes on within the marketing teams at BioWare. In any event, me and Lambo still intend on clowning just in case BioWare decide to surprise us. Me and Lambo are going to be streaming that on Thursday. I'll schedule a link and have that up very soon, but of course, if you're up for clowning, we're certainly going to be there in our get-up. Anyway, moving on away from this cutscene, let's talk about Dragon Age Absolution. So, the first episode of Netflix's upcoming Dragon Age show was actually released early on a Twitch stream, with Netflix geeked and a few of the VA cast. Now, I haven't seen it, so I'm only going to be talking about a few non-spoiler impressions because I want to watch it together with all of my friends, having a good binge of the Dragon Age show. I've also heard that there's actually commentary over the Twitch stream, only a little bit, not enough to ruin it, but even so, I'm saving myself for that very immersive experience. But yeah, a few non-spoiler impressions I've seen so far are that the show is really good. It's off to a great start. Many people love the characters instantly. A few people have said a few negative things about the pacing. It's quite fast already, but nonetheless, it's a very great start for a Dragon Age show, which is fantastic to hear. You know, with Netflix these days, it can really be a hit or a miss. Now, BioWare also revealed more posters featuring a few of the Absolution characters. Now, as a reminder, Dragon Age Absolution Season 1 consists of 6 episodes, each running at 30 minutes each. Now, the show comes out on Friday, December 9th on Netflix, just a day after the Game Awards. And moving on to our final story, Dragon Age The Missing Issue 2. My goodness, we are in such an exciting time for Dragon Age content, like official cinematics, Dragon Age Netflix shows, and now a brand new Dragon Age comic coming out in the new year. It's so exciting. And so for those who don't know, last news update, we talked about the fact that Dark Horse have announced a brand new Dragon Age comic leading directly into the events of Dragon Age Dreadwolf, featuring none other than Varric my boy is getting around, and Lace Harding, as they descend into the abandoned deep roads beneath Manus Pell in pursuit of a former friend. But the corruption of the Blight has infected the walls, and the threat of Darkspawn looms heavy in the air. Now, initially, I was wondering, who are Varric and Lace Harding after? We all assumed it would be someone like Volta, maybe Anders, a Grey Warden, the hero of Ferelden perhaps. But spoilers ahead, issue 2 has revealed exactly who the pair are chasing after. So if you don't want to know, please skip to the end of this video, but we are about to reveal who Varric and Lace Harding are chasing after in the Deep Roads, and it is none other than Solas. Okay, so let's read this synopsis. After their close encounter in the Deep Roads under Manus Pell, Varric and Harding continue their quest to find Solas. An invitation to the home of Lady, I don't even know how you say this, so I'm just going to say Lady C, in Varantium, puts the pair on a course that will cross paths with the Venatori, as well as deadly Antivan Crow assassins. Now, apparently, the cover of this issue had the very following pair of 2 deadly Antivan Crow assassins, being Tia and Viago, 2 very recently introduced Antivan Crow assassins that are making their way into Dreadwolf, no doubt. So of course, very excited for issue 2 that releases on the 22nd of February. So even more Dragon Age content to come. It's just mint that while Dragon Age Absolution is almost here, we've got more to be excited about when Dragon Age Absolution finishes, and that being a 4-issue long comic releasing monthly in the new year. So of course, if we don't see anything at the Game Awards on Thursday, we're gonna have Dragon Age Absolution, and at least then this brand new comic to hold us off for a good couple of months. Of course, I'd love to see something at the Game Awards, and I'm gonna be clowning for that just in case there is something, but frankly, I feel like BioWare would have told us like they have in the past. Casey Hudson back in 2018 told us to look out for the Dreadwolf Rising, and then we had that 2018 Game Awards trailer, and then in 2020, BioWare and Dragon Age Day said, tune into the Game Awards where we're going to show you a trailer on Dragon Age 4. And so far this Dragon Age Day, BioWare didn't come out and say anything like that, and in fact they've said that they're closing out the year with this artistic sequence. So who really knows? In any event, you're already in the right place the moment we do hear something. The Game Awards is on Thursday, so we don't have too long to wait anyway, and of course we've got a lot of things to be excited about. Let me know all of your thoughts on this cinematic, Absolution, The Missing Issue 2. What are you thinking about Dragon Dragon Age. When do you think Dreadwolf is going to come out? When are the marketing phases going to start for this game? I'd love to hear all your thoughts down below. But until the next one, I have been Jackdaw, and I should go. Whoa, 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 whoa.